Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we are going to be doing some propagations and kind of like spring prep. It is still January, but it is late January here, and I've just been a little bit scissor happy. I've just been really urging to cut some of my plants, and so I thought we would do that today because I've been really wanting to do it, but I also really want to do it in a video. So yeah, we're just gonna do it today. I have a few plants in mind that I want to cut up, like for sure my Syngonium, and I've been really wanting to cut my mother plant of my strawberry shake. I did a poll on Instagram, and like, I don't even know, 75% of the people that voted on there said not to do it, but but I think I'm going to do it because it's all basically air layered, and I've just been really wanting to cut it up. So I'm gonna cut it up as long as I can. I'm gonna obviously take it out of the pot and see what's going on, but it's all air layered and it looks like the roots are all happy, so I think I'm gonna do it. And yeah, I also want to kind of check and see what's going on with my white princess, see if there's any good spots to cut from there, because I have like 4 growth points on this one plant, and it's just a lot, and I just feel like I don't really need this much of this plant, that I could cut it. So I think I'm gonna do that as well. What else? I kind of want to separate one of my anthuriums. My anthurium forgetii has 2 plants in the same pot, so I kind of want to separate that because I don't really need 2 anthurium forgetii. Also, something else I should mention is I'm doing only trades for the whole year of 2022. So that's kind of why I'm trying to like not cut down, but like any plants that I have multiples of, or anything that I can take cuttings of, I kind of want to get that all ready to go for spring, so then I can do some trades. At least that's what I'm thinking. I'm also air layering a couple philodendron currently. I really just, I did just like add another section of air layering on my Splendid because it already pushed out a new leaf, so I wanted to just start air layering the next node. So I did that a few days ago, but we can kind of do like a little update on them because the Splendid already has roots like mad, and it's just really quick for the Splendid. I don't know. I mean, I've air layered plants before, but they've never like produced roots in a couple of weeks, in my opinion. Because like I'm pretty sure I did it like January 9th, and then I noticed like the 15th or something. I don't know. I put it all on my Instagram, but I noticed that the roots already growing out after like a week and a half, and I'm like, whoa, that's quick. So I'm air layering a few philodendron, so I might just show you guys how that's going. Maybe I can find something else to air layer. Yeah, so it's just, look at, there's so much snow, and it's so cold today. I think the low today is negative 21. Like, it's so cold, and I hate it. Why do we live where the air hurts us? I don't know why. But I would rather live where the sun hurts me than the air, because, yeah. Anyways, that's enough rambling. Let's go get the plants that we're gonna cut up. Look at that new leaf on my Monstera Esqueleto. It's so warm in there, it's crazy. I wanted to show you guys the plants that I'm air layering. This one here is a Philodendron Majestic. I believe. And this one here is a Philodendron Splendid, which is a cross between, I guess both of these are hybrids, right? I think they're both got some varicosum in them. And then this one's like a melanochrysum cross with a varicosum. I don't know. I'm not a plant genius, so don't come at me. But they're definitely both hybrids. So this was the one that I did originally. I'm pretty sure it has a node down here, and then the node up here is the one that has started to grow roots. I don't know if you'll be able to see. There's some right here and some further down. I don't know if you can see it. But then recently, a few days ago, I just did this one up here to get this new growth point node activated and get some roots growing up there. So maybe I can take 2 or 3 cuttings that are already rooted. That would be really nice. And then this one, I haven't seen anything poking out, so it might take a little bit more time. This plant also was kind of suffering from root rot, so it might take a little bit longer. The moss is pretty dry, so I do need to dampen that. But yeah, air layering is a super simple way to propagate your plants in a safe way to where they get roots and then you cut them instead of cutting them and then getting roots. So I have a full video on air layering. I think it's when I air layered my Jose Bono. So if you guys are interested in that, I will have it linked down below if I can remember. But yeah, it's super fun and super easy and super rewarding because literally I was already seeing roots after like 2 weeks on this. The other plants I brought out is my Philodendron Strawberry Shake, my mother plant, and then my Philodendron White Princess, not Pink Princess, and then this anthurium Forgetii that has 2 plants in it, and I would like to see if I can separate them. And yeah, it's pretty cute. Honestly, I kind of suck at growing anthurium, so it's actually looking pretty good for my care. It was trying to push out a new leaf a few days ago, and it died in the sheath because I wasn't paying attention. So yes, first I think I'm gonna start with my pink princess. It's not a pink princess, it's a white princess, and just kind of see what's happening in here. There is 4 active growth points. So I don't know if this is just like a super branchy grower. You know, like if it likes to, I'm gonna move this down so you can see. So what I was kind of thinking about this plant is that it's honestly like coming from one plant. Because when I bought it, they're like, there's 2 plants in the pot, which technically there is, but they're coming from the same stock. So that's kind of the main reason why I wanted to up pot it, just in case that was the case, to kind of make sure that I don't end up with a spent node. Where was I gonna cut? I'm gonna cut right here, just one of the stems first to kind of see what's happening. Yay! So it's got some roots, but this is also one with 3 growth points. So I might take another cutting because that's kind of a lot for this one plant, but that's so cute. So I think I'm gonna cut this plant off, and then I'll have 1, 2, 3 nodes for sure that I know that aren't spent nodes. Maybe one that is a spent node, but I think that was just cut in that way before I even got the plant. So I'm gonna cut off this bigger, well, I guess these 4 leaves on this side I'm gonna cut. There was a new growth coming in here, but I snapped it off. So it is starting to push out a new little leaf from there. But I ripped that leaf off. But it is another chunk that has some aerial roots rooted. So I'm gonna cut right in between this leaf and this node. Okay, so I got another plant. It's technically a top growth, even though I've ripped off that new leaf, but, and then I have this. Should I even cut it again? Because there's another section down here that's rooted. Should I cut this leaf off? Because it'll be rooted, and then I'll have 2 active, or 2 growth points, or 2 nodes that can grow left on the stalk. Should I do it, or is that too small? But it's already rooted. I'm gonna do it. Who cares? I mean, the more plants, the merrier, right? Yeah, so I got this little leaf with what kind of looks like 2 nodes, because it probably had that push through leaf that was here, and then it has this node, and it has roots, and it has beautiful variegation. Nice. So I got 4 plants. I'm kind of thinking about even cutting this one again, just because there's a lot of growth there to be handled just by that one chunk. Oh, that's not a spent node either. So I have 1, 2, 3 nodes. 3 nodes that should grow. So that's exciting. I'm just gonna pot this back into the same pot it was already in. This is definitely more of like a sphagnum and cocoa mix. Can't talk, but I really like it. I got this plant from Jack's Jungle on Instagram, where I get the majority of my plants. So go check her page out. She does live auctions and sometimes posts on her stories. She's got killer plants. Oh man, I'm excited. See, I posted this one too on my Instagram to ask what people thought if I should cut it. And everybody said that I should cut my white princess. So everyone should be excited that I cut it. So I have this plant, this plant, this plant, and this plant. So I have 4 plants for sure. Man, I love that smell. Does anybody else love that smell of like fresh cut philodendron? I love it. I don't know, it's weird, but I love it. I'm gonna let these chill for a bit and get the bottoms to callus over, or the cuts to callus over, before I put them into wet sphagnum and go from that. Should I do this next? Oh man, I'm nervous. Let's do it. Here's a little tray. I really need to get a potting mat. I've said this a million times and haven't done it. So here's my potting mat. This plant I also got from Jack's Jungle. It has been on quite a journey. I got it on one of her story sales. Yeah, but I got it on one of her story sales, and I was like, are you sure this is the price you meant to say? And she's like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, sold. Because I thought it was a very excellent price for a strawberry shake, especially at the time. I think I've had this for at least a year. Maybe not quite a year, because I feel like I got it in more of the colder months, but not like super cold. I don't know. This camera, this phone stand, whatever it's called, cannot handle it. These roots look so good. It was in kind of a weird mixture. I had it in sphagnum moss at the top. I just kept adding and adding sphagnum moss to the top and kind of air layering it as it grew. And then I had pon at the bottom because this plant was shipped to me in pon. And so then when I cut it the last time, I just, you know, didn't want to waste the pon because I think pon's expensive. I don't know. And yeah, so I just put it back in the pot. But I think I can get I think I can get this bottom leaf off safely. So I'm just gonna, maybe I should show you the plant up close. So I'm gonna cut this right here, possibly the next one. I don't know. Woo! So here are the plant. This one is very nicely rooted. I mean, there's a lot of sphagnum still stuck on here, but there's a lot of roots going on. And honestly, this is like my favorite leaf in my whole entire collection because it's so freaking pink. It's like a pink, it's better than my pink princess. It's way better than my pink princess, and it's not even, yeah. So here's one. Let me look and see what else is going on here. It's just that the leaves are so close together. I do have this little scissors. I think it's meant for like cutting cuticles. So maybe I'll try to see if I can get this in here to get one more leaf off. Do I try it? Am I giving you guys anxiety watching me cut up this frickin' crazy expensive plant? But see, I didn't get it. I mean, I got, maybe if I can find a photo, I'll insert what I got, and then this grew from that. This is not what I ordered at all. I think I paid like $210 for a 2-leaf rooted top cutting with no variegation. Like, I mean, like this much variegation on both leaves. So my expectations were low, and yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about, but if I cut this leaf, if I cut this node, I might lose this leaf. Is that worth it? Because the node is rooted. Fuck it. I did it! And I didn't lose the leaf. Okay. So I got one fully rooted, one semi-rooted, and then the top cut that's semi-rooted with beautiful new roots coming in hot. And look at that. That is freaking crazy. I can't believe I just cut this up. Wow. I mean, even still, this is a plant. This is a full plant. It has 4 leaves. It has roots. It has a new growth point. It has beautiful variegation. So I don't know. I don't know why I threw some sphagnum moss on top of this, because I'm like, oh, it's gonna like air layer it. I don't think it did anything. I don't know how to care for these plants, but those roots, man, those roots are looking damn good. Okay, I'm getting it. I'm just gonna pull it. 2 plants. How did it fit in here? Good God. I'm sorry you guys can't see what I'm doing. So I have this planter that's not porous or whatever, so I think it'll be good. It's kind of big, but if I don't fill it up, I think it'll be okay. You know, and before it kind of like dangled anyways like this, so it might be good. I'm gonna plant it towards myself so I can kind of see what's happening. And there's just too much at the bottom. Okay, so I just went and watered it quick because it wasn't really sitting like I wanted it to. So here's the pot. Here's the plant. I put some sphagnum at the top around the plant because that's how I had it before and that's how I've seen it online. So I don't know if it does anything, but that's what we're doing. Okay, so I really need to pot up the rest of these plants. Oh, shnikes. We got caught on, we're good. So I need to pot up these white princesses and then these 2 strawberry shakes into something. Do I want to put them in terracotta pots with sphagnum? I do have plenty of nursery pots that I could just put them in there, but I've never put them in terracotta pots and like just spag. I have a bunch of them right there. I kind of want to do it just to see what happens. And I think it would be really cute. There's like sticks and shit in this sphagnum, but it's like so much more affordable than the other stuff, so I don't know. Let me know down in the comments below if this is a really bad decision and I shouldn't be doing this. Okay? Please? Put some in the bottom of the pots too. I kind of wring out my sphagnum moss before I pot it, just so it's not like super full of water or too wet. I don't know if that's a suggestion. I'm really at a point in my YouTube life where I'm like, I probably shouldn't suggest anything because people are gonna be like, you said this, and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just playing and having fun. So that's my advice to you is to play and have fun. Don't take anything else I say as Bible because I really have no idea what's happening 90% of the time. This one doesn't have very much for roots, so I'm gonna pack it down pretty, not like pack it down, that's a bad word. Yeah, I'm not gonna fill it like to the top. Like it's like halfway down in there. But it's so cute in its little pot. I have so many plants. I need to go wash my hands because they're super gross. So I went and yeah, let me count. Okay, so I went from 1, 2, 3 plants. I went from 3 plants to 1. I went from 3 to 9 plants in an hour. Propagating is so much fun. I freaking love it. You guys, I honestly don't understand how people let their plants grow. Like, I would say that these were like decently sized plants. Like, obviously the shake was like small, but it had several leaves, so it's just juvenile. It's not like it's a tiny plant, it's just an immature plant. And the white princess was pretty big, and I got 4 cuttings from that. Or 4 plants from that, and I got 3 plants from the strawberry shake and 2 anthurium, and we haven't even done the other plants that I wanted to do yet, like the Syngonium. And I already have 9 more plants. So now I am just going to try to find space for these in my grow tent. I might have to do some rearranging. And then maybe we'll go cut up the Syngonium quick. I still have like an hour before work. Or before I need to leave for work. God, you guys, I love propagating so much. It's so much fun. Let's do a trade. So I have been doing some rearranging anyways. I have hung up a few plants. So there's not very much going on this middle shelf here, so I think I'm gonna clear space in the middle and put the plants there. I did have the anthurium on the ground, so maybe I'll just put the big one back down there too. Okay, so just like that, we have a full shelf. I did decide to just put the, what's this called? Anthurium up here because I had the room for it, so I don't know if this will be too much light, probably, but also maybe it will be good for it. Get some new growth happening. That one, a couple of these I still need to water, but everything's here. The strawberry shakes are in this corner. Here's the anthuriums, and here are, I'm not showing you, and here are all of the white princesses. Maybe this is like the white princess valley here because they go all the way back. Yes, beautiful, beautiful. I guess all of these on this shelf are most of them are up for trades, besides like my mother plants, obviously. But I'm gonna do a trade, or I'm gonna do a video of all of the plants and propagations I am prepared to trade for. Like, obviously, if there's something super specific that I have, I can take a cutting of that somebody wants. That's completely different, but these are all of the plants. But I'm thinking about doing a video of like, these are all of the plants that I'm for sure planning on trading for. Look at this. Look at that leaf. That is damn cute. Oh my gosh. Okay. I need to get out of here. So here is my Syngonium albo. It's honestly not looking the best. Like, it has some super droopy leaves, some leaves that are just completely donezo, but it has 2 growth points. It has this stem here, and then it has this big stalk here. So I think I'm just gonna cut it down to basically the base of the plant and start this whole thing over. Because honestly, I mean, it is big and it is beautiful, excuse me, but I would rather like try to climb this up a plank or something to get those mature leaves, because obviously the leaves are just getting smaller and smaller as the plant goes up, because it's, I mean, it's supported, but it's not like maturing, if that makes sense. I have cut this plant once before, so I need to make sure that I'm paying attention, that I'm not getting any spent nodes from it. But I think I'm just gonna cut it right here. I probably just blocked that whole shot with my arm because I'm not paying attention, but here it is, all cut up, left with 1 leaf. So there are several nodes. I think there's a couple under the soil as well. And then there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I can see that'll shoot out new growths, hopefully. So here's kind of the situation. I still have it on the sticks. I could take this off. Ooh, goodness gracious. So here's this one. Definitely the smaller one, but still a beautiful plant. And here's this long, I mean, it goes down to like my hip bone. It's a pretty big chunk. So I'm gonna cut it up. I'm gonna stick the nodes that have leaves just in water. And then the nodes without leaves, I'm gonna just stick in a prop box somewhere and hope for the best. I mean, obviously I have a bunch of this plant, so if there's some casualties, like it won't ruin me, but it's super beautiful. It has some really nice petioles that are almost like sunstress, maybe. Like this one. They're super pink. And it has pretty decent variegation. At least at the top. Some of these have less, but it's really nice. So I'm just gonna cut this up. There goes the ups truck. So I'm just gonna cut this up probably off camera because this video is probably getting pretty long, and I'll show you guys what the situation is. I might leave this one as a whole little plant. I mean, honestly, I think it might be reverting. Oh, maybe not, 'cause the new leaf has some coloring on there. So maybe I'll leave this as a whole plant. Okay, so here is the big top cut. It does have a node down here with no leaf. I'm just gonna leave that, stick it in water, and maybe put this on a plank just to try to get it get it going. Oh, that new leaf looks pretty damn white. Hopefully not too white. Yeah. So there's the big top cut. Here's a small top cut that I probably will just leave again. Maybe I'll put these on the same plank because this one's gonna be more green. And this one's obviously gonna be more variegated, so they might be fun growing next to each other. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Then I have 4 mid cuts here, and then this one is the node, like where it started growing from the node that I cut a few, God, maybe even a year ago, because it was like my giveaway plant. But I cut here, and so it grew from like this. If I would cut this part off, I hope this makes sense. If I would cut this part off, the rest of this would be a spent node because it already had activated this new growth. So I don't want to cut too short. I'm sure I could cut here and it would be fine, but I'm just gonna leave it as one big chunk because I can always cut it. I just don't want to make the wrong cut because then you can't go back. But so I guess I have like 4 nodes with leaves, and then I have 3 just nodes. So I'll throw these in my prop box and I'll stick these in water. Yeah, I'm excited. Let me know if you need some Alba Syngonium. I know I have like 3 people already messaging me from my Instagram post saying like, if you do cut it, like I want a cutting. So that's exciting.